So we have these two devices sitting right here, and I thought it'd be a good time to let people out there know what these are.
Sure.
So what are they?
So this is Project Sputnik, which is something that we started inside of Dell, kicked it off about 4 months ago through an internal incubation program. And the whole idea of the program is, hey, let's get some ideas around Dell that maybe wouldn't normally see the light of day, might be locked up in people's heads, and try and give them some funding, try and give them some nurturing, and see what happens. So the idea is to create an Ubuntu-based developer laptop, and that's what this is. And just today we announced that it's going to become a real boy. It's going to be a real project, a real product in the fall. So we go from pilot to product.
So a couple things about this. Thank you, by the way, for sending me one. I've been using it for about a week now, and this machine absolutely screams. So there's no doubt this is an awesome piece of hardware. But there's more than hardware. You ship it bare bones.
Right.
And then I'm going to add on to it, or tell me a little bit more about what the intention is behind that.
Right. So step number one is in getting this ready is make sure that all the drivers work. Right. So if everything doesn't work, then it's not worth anything. So we do that. Then on top of that, we put just a very bare bones, as you say, list of utilities and tools. Then if people want to start adding to it, what we're developing is a profile tool and a set of profiles that out on GitHub where you'll be able to go out and you'll be able to pull down the one for Node.js, say, or JavaScript, or Android.
Or Java, or whatever your profile is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so we're going to start out, we're developing this now. Actually, Canonical is helping us with this, and they're doing the majority of the developing right now. The idea being that they'll go and set up a few as examples, and then other people will hopefully come and take it and say, you know what, those are great, but I'm really developing in Django, and so I want one for myself, or Clojure, or whatever it may be. And then we'll have more and more people populate it.
So you're using Git to build your profile, build your system, basically.
Exactly.
Yes, and so down the road, it could be like public profiles that I may want to subscribe to the Tim O'Reilly OpenStack, or whatever we're going to call it.
Our signature series, yes, right. But that brings up a good point is, besides generic, hey, this is a node profile, we might have special setups that people use. So maybe Tim uses that, or Tim Bray's Android, or Brian Aker, who was on early, maybe he's got a special Drizzle stack that he himself uses. Then we're hoping these will proliferate, and then people have a whole library of things to choose from to go and start working with.
Yeah, I can see, like Tim talked about the ecosystem today in his keynote, and I could see an ecosystem building around these where I buy the device, and then I want to start my small business, so I do a Git SMB, and I load all the things, WordPress and Magento, and these tools that I need to start my small business. I could see this being a great catalyst for that sort of thing.
Exactly. It's all about starting the platform and building the platform, and then we would build the platform, and then others would extend it. And that's the whole beauty and model of the community. The other thing that we will have as far as a tool will be a cloud tool, which is the idea of using Ubuntu's Juju. Is you'll be able to go and build microclouds on your laptop using LXC containers. And you'll be able to model exactly what you're going to be pushing to the cloud and all the different dependencies. And then you're able to take it and push it to the cloud when you're done. So in a DevOps fashion, you're driving down friction and you're increasing velocity. So you're allowing people to be much more productive, being much more innovative, and by providing a complete client-to-cloud solution.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed too, and it's come a long way, is Ubuntu now is ready for what I would consider prime time. I hadn't used Linux in probably 5 years, and I hadn't used Unix on a full-time basis for about 15 to 16 years ago. This is actually easy to use. I can almost see this being a easy replacement for a MacBook or something like that. I know that's not the intention, but for those small businesses and people who are concerned that Linux may be a little bit more difficult, it certainly is not anymore. And Ubuntu, this desktop, is an absolute easy thing to use.
Oh, it's very good looking. That's one of the things that Mark Shuttleworth, the founder of Ubuntu, is personally very interested in, is the whole UI and making easy as a feature. The whole idea that it shouldn't have to be geeky or complicated. It should be accessible to everyone, and you can really see that in the UI that they've got developed. But then also, as you say, we are targeting this initially to developers.
Yes.
And I think that crowd will be the ones, now if we're successful there, maybe we expand it to consumers, but at least for right now, we want to stay very focused, and particularly in the fall, we're just going to offer one one version of this, and it will be the high end of the XPS 13. To make sure that we're successful there. And then maybe I can see us going and doing a Beauty and the Beast type lineup, where you'd have this as the lightweight mobile one, and then we get some big Mamba Jamba Precision or one of the other laptops with tons of memory in it that's more of a luggable that people can use at the other end of the spectrum, and offer a couple of those. But we're starting off with this, and we'll see where that goes from here.
Excellent. Barton, this is a great project, and I can't wait to see where you guys take this in the future.
And just one more thing, just in closing, I'd love to say is that really what made this all possible is the power of the community. Because we started, as I mentioned, as an internal Skunkworks project, and we're looking at ways to convince people in the more normal Dell realms that this is a legitimate product that should be taken to product. And it's been all the feedback we've gotten on our idea storm, literally 150 ideas or so, where people have in great detail talked about what they want in a laptop, the number of people who've responded to the blog, giving comments and encouragement, and then also in the beta program we announced, we've had thousands and thousands of people who've applied from over 130 countries around the world. So it really is that interest that has shown us that this is a legitimate product that will be meeting people's needs. So that's been really exciting.
Well, and the community has brought you here right now, and they're going to take you forward too, because the idea of community involvement and defining profiles and defining where this platform can go is really powerful. And it's going to be great.
And we're looking forward to it.
Yes. Thank you, Barton.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Take care.